a company called Biochar Now, where I was invited to unzip an even bigger bag, positively bursting with a different kind of dirt, a unique and highly flammable form of fertilizer that inspired the boldest claim in the history of dirty jobs.
Today in Berthoud, Colorado, we are going to solve global warming once and for all.
Yep, you heard me right. Biochar Now supplies a revolutionary form of fertilizer based on a highly absorbent form of charcoal that helps crops grow better and faster. Biochar is like charcoal because it's based on heating wood with little to no oxygen. But unlike charcoal, biochar gets the CO2 out of the air and into the ground. Which brings me back to the boldest claim in the history of dirty jobs.
Today in Berthoud, Colorado, we are going to solve global warming once and for all.
Yep, I said it again, because this guy is very convincing, and because bold claims are fun to make.
Mike Rowe.
James Gaspard, appreciate you visiting us.
Hello, Mike.
Hi, Jordan Gaspard.
You guys know each other?
I claim.
So it's a family affair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ben, right?
Yes, sir.
Mike, what does your business card actually say?
I am the managing director.
And yours?
CEO.
CEO. And yours?
Site manager.
Site manager.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Biochar Now began as an attempt to do something useful with tons and tons of wood that nobody wanted. Trees burned down by forest fires or killed by beetles, scrap lumber, and broken down cargo pallets. The crap, in other words.
We're creating a special type of carbon that has special properties. Right now, we're the environmentalist favorite because everything we do is carbon negative. We're actually pulling the carbon from the air at scale.
And where are you putting it? Back in the ground?
Back in the ground, or back in other products like concrete or asphalt or plastics or all kind of different things.
It's a lot of science. See a lot of lumber. That lumber gets put in those kilns.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And those kilns burn real hot.
It's actually a chemical reaction, so it's really not burning.
That chemical reaction is called pyrolysis, which, according to Google, is the thermal decomposition of wood at elevated temperatures in a static atmosphere. In this case, that atmosphere is a kiln. Pyrolysis helps the environment by reducing waste, greenhouse gases, and water pollution. After pyrolysis, the contents of the kiln are dumped onto the hopper and onto a conveyor belt for inspection.
We sort through them, hand sort. We've had trash come through, metal, and there's pieces of raw wood in there. Only carbon you want going down the line.
I didn't meet you guys. I'm Mike.
Mike, nice to meet you. I'm Caleb.
Mike, I'm Lane.
Mike.
Ben, Lane, and Caleb are removing any contaminants that would decrease the quality of the biochar. I'm just trying to keep up.
Tell me again what I'm looking for.
Anything that's not carbon.
So like this doesn't look quite charred.
Correct. That is wood. We toss that out.
Toss it.
Yep. Here's a rock, here's a rock. You only want carbon to go through the rest of the system and into the bags. So this is a good piece of carbon. It's burned all the way through. You can still see the rings in it.
You guys are all moving pretty quick, but you're looking for stuff that isn't like that.
That's carbon.
That's good.
Yep.
So that goes. Because at a glance, I gotta say, it all just looks like black stuff.
Right.
That's good, right?
Yeah, this is carbon. That's good carbon.
Well, what's the difference between...
This is still wood.
I feel like this might still be wood.
Can you crack it open? Oh, that's carbon.
That's carbon. Yeah, I don't know that I was properly trained for this.
What was it, trained by fire?
Baptism by fire.
Yeah, baptism by fire.
The carbon gets milled into smaller and smaller pieces.
And where does it go from there?
It goes to your home garden.
When biochar is added to soil, it attracts and holds nutrients so plants can access them more easily. Think of it as a time-released capsule for anything that grows in the dirt.
The medium size can be used for water filtration, water remediation. It's being used in explosives and ballistics.
I mean, it just seems like an awful lot.
All life on Earth is carbon-based, so most everything is receptive to it and can be used for it.
If you're making lump charcoal for a barbecue, how hot is that burning as compared to what you're doing?
We don't make barbecue charcoal, so I don't know. If you were to put our product into your grill right now, you'd probably burn your grill down, because this stuff actually burns too hot. If we were to reignite this right now, we can't just put this out with a regular fire extinguisher. extinguisher.
Well, what the hell would happen if there was a fire here?
We go across the street, call the fire department and watch till it goes out.
So far, we've sorted out the wood that's on its way to becoming biochar. Now it's time to pack it up.
So this is our chip, and that's our medium. We have a color-coordinated organization.
Because it all looks white and black to me.
The carbon in these bags is sorted through a box screen into 4 different sizes: chipped, medium, small, and powdered.
We'll get like 2 powder bags a week.
Right.
So it's the most expensive stuff.
You just can't help but rub it in your eyes, can you?
I can't. Get the slightest itch.
I know. Right now, I really want to, but I'm trying to avoid that.
You know better.
Once full, each bag weighs about 700 pounds.
You also got to do spot quality checks. Some wood is okay, but about 98, 99% char in the bag. As that fills up, you're going to want to spread it around, push it in the corners,
Yeah.
help it fill up as full as
I see.
as tight as you
Right.
can.
It's important to make sure the containers are packed tight, but not overfilled. The contents must be mostly carbon. If too many wood chips, masquerading as carbon, find their way into the bag, then the bag will need to be dumped out and resorted, and that would be very, 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 very bad.
Now this one's a pain in the ass.
I see that.
You're gonna want to look at this one. This one's filling up on you.
Oh, that's sure. That's woefully inadequate.
Thankfully, Ben is what you call a hands-on supervisor.
All right, we'll call this one full.
I'd say so, yeah.
So we'll pull it out. Just do a little spot check. That looks like good carbon to me.
There's a little piece of wood. This is what I'm looking for. You got to go through the whole thing. You got to find the little pieces of wood. And when you find them, you got to throw them on the ground.
Tie it up. The other thing too is you have to have an internal clock telling you to go check on the other ones. You can't get too fixated.
It seems like the chunky ones that are the problem. That's more apt to bunch up because it's bigger.
Right.
The fully loaded bags are placed on pallets and taken to the cool-down area. For good reason.
We don't immediately put it into our inventory because if an ember happened to slip by us, it'll burn down everything. So
How many bags are out there?
we have over 1 million pounds in our inventory.
I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah. Have you ever operated a wheel loader before?
Oh, sure.
You want to try again?
Oh, good. Another machine I don't know how to operate. My day is looking up.
Doing great.
It is unbelievable what people will toss me the keys to, honestly.
To state the obvious, big machines are fun. Driving them is satisfying. I recommend it.
These are our filtration socks for going into waterways and the big
that
filtration systems. Our 2 standard sizes, a 1 foot and a 2 foot length. This has our medium size, it's our rice grain size char in it. We have these little ends here that have a loop on each end. Typically, the end consumer will tie a dozen of these together and put them around like your aerator in the middle of your pond.
Yeah.
So it's pulling all the water through this sock, aerates it, and just continues that cycle. And then as this absorbs any sort of fertilizers, algae, anything like that in there, it will get heavier, it will sink, and then you can pull all of those socks out of that pond, and then they're charged. You can cut them open, put that in your garden.
They're charged.
Yes.
So when you activate the carbon with what, algae?
They absorb, any sort of microbe or adsorb any sort of microbe, mineral, heavy metals, that sort of thing. When you add it to agriculture or your garden, the plant can access the little cell structure that's in that char and remove those nutrients, remove that water through a cation and anion exchange.
What the?
There's,
you know
it's
what?
a bunch of science.
I know, but at a glance, you guys are covered in dust and char and just making little chips out of big chips. But this is big science going on.
I mean, we're creating an industry from the ground up, and we've been at it for a while. But, our product speaks for itself.
No, actually, it doesn't. Like if I were to say, explain to me what you do, it would just look at me like a
It would
a
just
dumb
throw some
sock.
dust at your face.
Right.
That's about it.
So what's he doing?
He's gonna dump a kiln into the hopper.
Maybe I should watch that.
Yeah.
That's a fresh kiln of charred lumber.
Yep, it's a finished kiln.
A finished kiln.
Yep.
And how long does the lumber cook?
11 and a half hours total.
Once the carbon in the kiln is dumped into the hopper, it's sent through this thing, which may or may not be an actual thing.
We've made all of this from farm equipment.
I was about to ask you, this is not...
That's like a manure spreader right there that we built a hopper on. This potato sorter here, it's a potato sorter. This ejects all of this bigger stuff.
Yeah.
We try to get much of it out as before it goes to us.
Now those are actual kilns, right?
Those come from a weld shop. The tops and bottoms are actually the ends of rail cars.
Really?
Yeah. And then the sides, everything is just rolled and just welded together.
So you dump the kiln, the manure spreader and the potato sorter have been cobbled together in such a way as to facilitate the onward motion of, is it biochar at this point, or is it just bio or char?
It's both. You
It's
can it's
biochar.
one or the other or both.
I swear, if the key to saving our planet really does come down to made-up machines and tiny bits of charred, recycled wood jammed into the ground, I might weep.
This is part of our dust collection system. I don't even know what the real term is. We call them the udders.
The udders are literally bursting with superfine, highly flammable powder that falls through the conveyor belt I was working on earlier. The udders need to be milked.
I'm getting that feeling I get
Can we
sometimes.
get his respirator?
It's usually right before things get super, super dirty and people say things like, can I get his respirator?
The dirtiest I have ever left this property was when I emptied these.
Oh, really?
Now it's a new guy chore.
The FNG.
Yep, the F&G.
You just unzipper?
Yeah, unzipper if you can. Start scraping it out if you can.
There's a certain futility. I feel as though I'm downwind.
Yeah, you're in a really good spot there, Mike.
And so I learned for the 1,000,000th time, being downwind, never good.
We just can't pull down on them too much or they'll disconnect.
Oh. Is it coming out?
Oh yeah, you're doing good.
I'm afraid to open my eyes.
So if you kind of reach your arm up in there and kind of claw at it, you can get it to break free a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
That's Dylan giving me some advice on how to get even dirtier. Thanks, Dylan.
What are we going to do when we get this hopper full of fines?
Yeah, we're gonna dump it.
Dump it where?
Back into our hopper to bag it.
Yeah, we should do this more often.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we only have 7 more to go.
You want us to call on you the next time we do it?
Yeah, that'd be great. And if I don't pick up, just keep calling. I'm probably just tied up out back.
What makes our carbon so effective is we blow out all the tars and lignins, so it's completely raw carbon.
And then you can make just like plastic lumber and stuff out of it that's a lot stronger.
Is this plastic or is it carbon?
Both. We also can be used as an organic animal feed additive, and it binds the toxins out of an animal's system
This is food?
for a cow, so everybody quits whining about cows
Farting.
burping and farting, yeah. And this is something that's really gonna change the world. These are seed balls. Basically, it's our carbon and clay, and you put a little tree seed in there.
Yeah.
And then you throw that out of a plane. We're actually working a contract now with a large Middle Eastern country that literally wants 5 billion of these balls to try to green their desert.
You're going to get an order for 5 billion balls?
Yeah.
So you're changing the fertilizer game. You're changing the speed with which trees can grow. Your guys are working on cutting-edge science, but they're filthy.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's a dirty job.
Our finest product size is a 50 mesh,
Yeah.
which is like 3,200 microns, something like that. This is probably twice as fine as that. It's very, very fine.
Now, who buys this, and what exactly do they do with it?
So the seed balls that James was talking to you about,
Yeah.
because this isn't a uniform product size,
Right.
we can add it to those seed balls because they just crush everything, make it into those clay balls.
Right.
So they don't necessarily need a uniform product size, but they need this fine material.
Super fine.
Super fine.
Now we're emptying out bags that capture leftover ultrafine carbon dust so that it can be reused later.
I guess it could be worse. I mean, it could be hot. It could be like really hot. What I love most is that this could actually be making the world a lot cleaner.
Not at this exact moment,
Not right now.
but maybe in the future. Oh, and the wind changed, awesome.
Yeah, perfect. I think it's following me.
Better to have a little bit of breeze than no breeze at all.
You're really a glass half full kind of guy, man.
So if you look at this kind of area right here is that really fine stuff.
Right,
It's like closer to water than it is to dust.
right.
It like flows because it's so incredibly fine.
That's because the particles are charged with static electricity, which mimics the dynamics of water. Dusty water, that is.
Yeah, it feels like water. Or some kind of fluid.
Biochar is also useful in environmental remediation and cleanup projects. The carbon is great at sucking up toxic metals and other contaminants that harm soil and water. Seems like a great time to thank Dylan and Ben for their hospitality. But wait, there's more.
We need to clean this kiln because we have a repair to make on it. That open hole right there, we're going to be cutting that out and welding a new one in. So we need to chisel out all of this buildup because if we cut and weld in that, it'll all catch on fire and then it doesn't go out for a while.
Is this a two-man job?
It gets a little cuddly in there if there's two people in there, so I'd say one to start. You can start with that, around that open hole there. It'll chip away pretty easy.
Oh yeah, it's like a dream. You know, I might go ahead and take those glasses.
I'm not a safety expert, but with tiny pieces of hot, sticky carbon flying through the air, I'm thinking safety glasses might really complement my outfit.
Oh yeah, that's super sticky, isn't it?
Yeah.
This seems like this would take hours.
We now keep up with them pretty good. There was a time when this buildup got to about here and to the edge of those open ports.
Yeah.
So it was about a cubic yard of material per kiln that we're chiseling out.
I assume this just comes out.
Yeah, just sweep it right out. We just scoop it all back up, put it into another kiln and burn it all off.
Right.
Return it to carbon.
If the welding is only going to happen here, why am I cleaning the whole thing?
Well, because we have you here. You know, we clean the whole thing because, like I was saying, this will just continue to build up.
Yeah.
Just hundreds and hundreds of burns. So it's a lot more manageable at this level.
Normally, this is the moment when I'm told there's a better tool for the job.
So you're talking about tools that were made for this purpose. We fab up a little one like this.
That's what I'm talking about.
So you can try that.
Oh, game changer.
There are 100 of these kilns on site, and they fire up 20 on any given day, which means they are cleaning out at least one per day, which means the work is never done.
This is one of those pivotal moments in the day where I have to decide, am I going to stand here with you and actually clean this thing top to bottom? Or am I going to look to the camera and suggest that we've made our point in what I think is the dirtiest little corner of Colorado?
It's entirely up to you, Mike.
All right, well then I'm going to stay here until this thing's good enough to eat off of. I might have broke your fabricated, customized tool.
Damn.
You know, it's too bad. Just right there, I was right on the verge of doing the whole thing and your tool broke.
And you definitely didn't just wedge that in there.
No,
Give
that
it
was a
good-
freak accident. I think the only sensible thing to do now is walk around and shake everybody's hand.
Thank you,
Thank you
Mike.
for a heck of a day. Dirtier than charcoal, dirtier than bone black. You guys win.
And so ends another delightfully dirty day.
Yeah, did you break something over there?
It was an honest mistake.
Yeah,
These things happen.
It happened. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your hospitality. This was terrific. Horrible, but great.
I learned a lot from James, Jordan, Caleb, Ben, Lane, and Dylan. who are turning wood into carbon and saving the world one bag at a time. And if you detect a theme in this episode, you are correct. From the bag house at the asphalt plant to the bursting bags at Biochar Now, we see once again that a clean world is simply not possible without men and women who aren't afraid to get dirty. It's a theme you might hear me repeat from time to time.
Today in Berthoud, Colorado, we are going to solve global warming once and for all.